Welcome back! This week we've got 14 awesome stories you won't want to miss. Quick highlights, cool moments, and the best news from the week. Let's dive right in. Today's story is about a stray dog who became a true hero and just earned one of the biggest honors in the country. Sergeant Bo began life as a homeless mutt on the streets of Florida. But after being rescued in 2022, he was adopted by former police officer Faye Okert. Together, they trained for him to become a certified therapy dog with the Nashville Police Department. Only a few months into his service, tragedy struck at Nashville's Covenant School. As families and students gathered in shock, Sergeant Bo was brought in to comfort them. He climbed onto buses, leaned against shaken kids, and stayed until the very last family had someone by their side. His calm, steady presence helped people feel supported when words simply weren't enough. Since then, Sergeant Bo has continued visiting schools, helping anxious children open up, and reminding everyone that healing can come from the most unexpected places, even a scruffy dog who once had nowhere to go. And now, he's been honored with the 2025 Hero Dog Award, proving that small acts of comfort can leave a lifelong impact. Imagine a device that lets children walk for the very first time. At a wellness center in Canada, a remarkable robotic exoskeleton called the Trexo Walker is giving kids with severe developmental disorders a chance doctors believed was impossible. Donated by someone with a generous heart, this $100,000 machine now supports families dealing with conditions like cerebral palsy and spinal cord injuries. One child benefiting from it is Leo, a young boy born with a rare genetic disease. Previously, his mother was told he would never take a single step. Strapped into the Trexo Walker, however, Leo began learning to move with the help of sensors that read his body's motions and guide each leg forward. Watching her son stand and walk like other kids brought his mother overwhelming joy. Behind this invention are two friends who were determined to help a family member living with cerebral palsy. Years of prototypes, countless adjustments, and 3D printed parts eventually led to the creation of a device that's now changing lives across North America. Ultimately, the Trexo Walker proves that innovation and compassion can create moments that feel nothing short of miraculous. Because for families like Leo's, watching a child walk is priceless.
This one allows a child's feet to touch the ground.
It's better for bones, it's better for feedback for the child. I mean, imagine if you or I were wandering around on clouds of air. What would that feel like? It wouldn't give as much feedback to us.
The walker can help children with a variety of conditions, from spinal cord injuries to cerebral palsy, but it comes with a hefty price tag.
The clinical version, which we received as a gift, was $100,000. So we could never buy one on our own. This is the only reason we have one is because of the goodness out of somebody's heart.
This is the only Trexo Walker in the province, and First Steps Wellness Center wants you to contact them if you're interested in using it. They're offering free assessments.
And we have no wait list. So the beautiful part about us being a nonprofit charity is we just work to serve the people. So however many want to come use it, we can. I mean, the thing's got to charge a bit, so probably about 6 hours a day we could run it.
Leo's family is grateful they are able to use the new technology.
He does a few steps right now by himself, and with that Trexo, I'm pretty sure he will be able to do more steps in the future once we start using it more often.
And now, other families will be able to do the same. Katie Swires, CBC News, Regina.
Picture a whale so rare that no one had ever seen it alive. Until now. Recently, a lifelong whale researcher encountered two ginkgo-toothed beaked whales in the wild for the very first time. Previously, this species was only known from dead specimens that washed ashore, making this sighting a major breakthrough for marine science. During an expedition off Baja California, the research team was searching for the source of a mysterious echolocation call known as BW43. Unexpectedly, two juvenile-looking whales surfaced near their vessel, giving the crew their first clue. Without a clear visual ID, the team used a modified crossbow to gently collect a tiny skin sample, hoping to solve a long-standing mystery. Analysis later confirmed that the whales weren't the species they expected, but the elusive ginkgo-toothed beaked whale, an animal never documented alive in the ocean before. Cheers erupted on the boat as years of work finally paid off. Understanding this whale matters because the confirmed call can now be used to map their range and help protect them from threats like military sonar. Even more surprisingly, scientists now know these whales inhabit the waters off North America year-round, instead of only washing up abroad. Ultimately, this historic encounter opens a new chapter in exploring one of the planet's most mysterious families of animals. Colombia has taken a bold step to protect one of the world's largest rainforests. Recently, the country announced a ban on all new oil and mining projects across 500,000 square kilometers of the Amazon, an area the size of Sweden. Acting Environment Minister Irene Vélez Torres made the announcement during the UN Climate Convention in Brazil, urging other South American nations to make similar commitments. This historic decision restricts expansion in Amazonas, Caquetá, Guaviare, Guainía, Putumayo, and Vaupés, focusing instead on renewable and regenerative economic activities. The Amazon biome is home to 10% of the planet's known plant species and provides crucial water supply from the Andean moors. Ministers also launched the Special Commission on Environment and Climate to coordinate sustainable development, fight deforestation, and include indigenous communities in decision-making. Experts say this measure not only protects biodiversity, but also safeguards rivers, prevents forest degradation, and helps maintain the continent's climate balance. Colombia's commitment sends a powerful message about environmental sovereignty and international cooperation. Ultimately, this bold action shows that protecting our planet's most vital ecosystems is both possible and necessary for future generations. Bird populations in Europe are showing early signs of recovery. Following the 2018 EU ban on neonicotinoid insecticides, researchers report a 3% increase in insectivorous birds across France. Surveys included 57 species, such as chaffinches, blackbirds, and blackcaps, highlighting the positive impact of the pesticide restrictions. Scientists conducted extensive fieldwork, measuring thousands of plots from 2013 to 2022 to compare pre- and post-ban population data. Observations indicate that reducing exposure to these bee-harming chemicals allows birds to feed safely and maintain healthier populations. Experts caution that other factors, like heat waves, habitat loss, and wildfires, also influence bird numbers. Nevertheless, the study provides hope that careful regulation of pesticides can help restore ecosystems. Conservationists say full recovery may take decades, but this is a promising start. Ultimately, the ban demonstrates how human action can protect wildlife and support the balance of natural food chains. In the Bay Area, California, children with developmental challenges are living out their cowboy dreams. Hosted by a father whose son has Down syndrome, the Little Pardners Rodeo invites 40 kids aged 4 to 17 for a full day of fun and adventure. Participants ride ponies, practice lassoing, and test their balance on a mechanical bull, all in a safe, supportive environment. Organized by the Exceptional Needs Network, the event is designed to give kids experiences they might not otherwise have. Every child gets to feel included and confident, enjoying activities without judgment or fear. Donnie Perry, the rodeo's founder, sees these children as his own for the day and believes everyone deserves to live out their cowboy or cowgirl dreams. Events like this allow kids to try new skills, build confidence, and simply be themselves. Families and volunteers often leave moved by the joy and compassion witnessed throughout the day. Ultimately, the Little Pardners Rodeo proves that with creativity and care, special needs children can enjoy unforgettable, empowering experiences. Mexico recently redesigned its 50 peso note with a smiling axolotl, a rare amphibian found only in the country. People quickly fell in love with the design, so much so that the notes are being hoarded and rarely spent. Called Gorda, the axolotl lives in a Mexico City museum and now has a permanent place on the popular currency. Collectors and fans alike prize the note, which even won Note of the Year from the International Bank Note Society. Remarkably, some first edition notes are now trading at 100 times their original value. Unlike other salamanders, the axolotl keeps its gills and stays aquatic its whole life, and it can even regrow lost limbs. Historically, axolotls lived in the lakes around Tenochtitlan, but draining the lake for Mexico City put the species at risk. Today, their charming, perpetually smiling faces make them beloved symbols of Mexican wildlife and conservation efforts. Ultimately, this little amphibian proves that a unique design can inspire joy, fascination, and a whole new kind of collector culture. A 10th grader in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, recently saved his stepfather's life using newly learned CPR skills. Less than a year after taking a school CPR course, Anthony Killinger rushed to help when his mother found her husband unconscious. Running downstairs, he discovered Mike Reese snoring and unresponsive on the floor. Praying for guidance, Killinger immediately began performing CPR as instructed in class. 8 minutes of continuous chest compressions kept Reese alive and protected his brain from oxygen deprivation. When EMS arrived, they confirmed that Anthony's quick action had saved his stepfather's life. Doctors later told the family that survival without brain damage after cardiac arrest is extremely rare. Reese spent just a week in the hospital before being released with a defibrillator implant. Ultimately, this story shows how learning CPR in school can make a life or death difference at any moment.
To survive the cardiac arrest, and then it's another thing to survive and have no brain damage. And it was crazy that he didn't have, he survived and didn't have anything.
Reese was in the hospital for only 7 days, coming home Wednesday after receiving a defibrillator implant.
I didn't go to the hospital to visit. I didn't like seeing him with all the cords on him. So when he came home, at the lobby gave him a hug. It's pretty emotional.
Anthony tells me he only just learned CPR last year after Lancaster Middle School, like many others, experienced the DeMar effect, changing CPR education.
It was a whole lesson unit on just CPR. They had guest speakers come in. They used it was almost like a dummy.
For Anthony, he didn't just save his stepfather. He also saved his best friend.
Baseball really connected us a lot. He was my house baseball coach. Very good role model. I mean, we go at it sometimes, but it's all in good faith. He always wants what's best for me.
Miracles sometimes happen in the most unexpected places. 7 years ago, Zach Zarembinski and Isabel Richards were both in comas in a Minnesota hospital. At 18, Zach suffered a traumatic brain injury on the football field, while 16-year-old Isabel arrived 9 days later after a car crash. Families watched in fear, unsure if either teen would survive. Doctors removed portions of their skulls to save their lives. Weeks later, Zach awoke and reassured Isabel's family that she would recover. Connections formed slowly, with the mothers organizing a dinner after their children had healed. Years passed before Zach and Isabel reunited, began dating, and built a bond rooted in shared survival. Eventually, at the same hospital where their journeys began, Zach proposed during a podcast recording. Celebration erupted as Isabel said yes, turning a story of tragedy into a remarkable tale of love.
What we have in common is the TBI. It's a traumatic brain injury.
Isabel's journey started at 16 in this mangled car while on her way to her grocery store job. Zach's at 18, making tackles for the Hill Murray football team.
2018.
Mine was October 27th, and yours was
November 5th.
9 days apart.
same year.
Zach and Isabel arrived by ambulance at Regents Hospital.
I remember that.
But a couple years later, Zach and Isabel took this photo as their families met for dinner,
I asked her for her phone number.
which led to this first date, which led to this.
I love you.
I love you too.
History was made when Oliver Chu became the first child to receive a groundbreaking gene therapy for Hunter syndrome. Doctors had struggled for years to treat this ultra-rare genetic disorder, which prevents the body from breaking down complex sugars. Fortunately, a new stem cell-based therapy replaced Oliver's defective gene with a functioning copy. Families watched as the 3-year-old began meeting developmental milestones and playing normally within months. Hospitals in Manchester oversaw the trial, carefully monitoring him along with 4 other patients. Scientists explained that traditional treatments could not cross the blood-brain barrier, making this therapy revolutionary. Parents celebrated as Oliver stopped needing enzyme infusions and developed new words, skills, and curiosity. Researchers remain cautiously optimistic, hoping this breakthrough will inspire treatments for older children, like Oliver's brother, Skylar. Ultimately, this world-first therapy has shown that even the rarest genetic diseases can be challenged with innovation, care, and hope. Scotland is home to a couple with a big heart for tiny animals. Andy and Sharon Longhurst have rehabilitated over 500 European hedgehogs in just 3 years. Initially, their home hosted up to 7 hedgehogs in a single room. Soon, demand grew, and they converted their garage into a second rescue ward. Fundraising allowed them to build a 3rd ward in their garden, complete with an ICU and over 40 rehab cages. Volunteers now assist daily with feeding, cleaning, and monitoring the animals. Hedgehogs face dangers like vehicles, infections, and even entanglement in nets, making this haven essential. Education is part of their mission, teaching locals how to create hedgehog-safe gardens. Recognition followed, including BBC's Make a Difference Award and mentions in Parliament. Ultimately, their dedication shows that compassion, commitment, and a little creativity can save lives and inspire communities everywhere. Sweden is home to a remarkable story of trust between species. Mats Jansson found a tiny, struggling otter while walking in the woods. Immediately, he realized the animal's mother was nowhere in sight. Fortunately, Jansson had experience in animal rescues, so he stepped in to provide care. Slowly, the otter gained strength and started forming a bond with her rescuer. Amazingly, she began following him, snuggling in his lap like a small dog. Eventually, Jansson prepared her for life back in the wild, setting up a kiddie pool to practice swimming. Reluctance faded as she regained her natural aquatic skills. Now, whenever Jansson takes his yellow kayak to the lake, she jumps aboard without hesitation. Magical moments unfold as the otter climbs in and snuggles, showing love built on trust and kindness. Truly, their friendship reminds us that bonds can form in the most unexpected and heartwarming ways. Across the UK, a heartwarming act of kindness has set a new Guinness World Record. Readers of Woman's Weekly magazine united to knit tiny mice for rescue cats. Amazingly, their effort produced an astonishing 46,506 woolen rodents. Volunteers followed a free pattern provided by the magazine, sending thousands of parcels to London headquarters. Collectively, the knitted toys now brighten the lives of cats in over 300 shelters. Nicola Murray from the Northwest London Cat Centre praised the project's impact on feline well-being. Additionally, Woman's Weekly editor Jeff Palmer called the challenge a testament to generosity and community spirit. Previous initiatives by the magazine included hats for the homeless, blankets for children in Ukraine, and baby vests for families in need. Each handmade mouse represents care, compassion, and the joy of giving. Truly, this record-breaking project shows that small acts, stitch by stitch, can create extraordinary change. Thanks for watching. If you have any stories of kindness, creativity, or inspiring acts, we'd love for you to share them in the comments below.